What's up, guys? Welcome back to another episode of Push Through. Day 2, JJ here in New York. You got day 1 of JJ in New York last week in the episode. And man, we're pushing through yesterday.
Yeah.
We if you heard on the last week, yesterday we did something dumb called the hardest mile, where we had to go around the track, and each time we did a different stupid, ridiculous movement. The first time around the track, we did burpee broad jumps. The second time around the track, we did walking lunges. The third time around the track, we did bear crawls, and then we ran like idiots. And I'm sore today. What about you?
My legs are a little. Those lunges were making my legs making my legs feel a little rubbery.
Yeah.
But that I think I feel the most today. And then we woke up. I stretched a little bit, felt better, and then you're like, "All right, you ready to go on a run?" And I'm like, I guess so.
Well, first we have to also say that on last week's episode, we drew the awful workout of today.
Oh, that's right.
Which was going to be 1,000 step-ups and a 2.5 mile run. But my wife came through. She vetoed that workout due to safety because it is a monsoon outside right now.
It's literally been nonstop raining all day.
So we also realized that we had pretty much every workout had like some sort of barbell or a box or a rower. And I'm on a teacher salary here, so we don't have a really big place to be putting stuff. So there was really no outside workout, so we went on a long run.
Mm-hmm. It was good.
I took you out on your longest run ever.
Well, not straight through run, yeah.
Well, yeah, there's a difference between completing a distance.
Okay.
Like, right, I'm going to, quote, run 100K, but
right.
I'm not going to run for 100K.
That's true.
So, yeah, you've gone, when I gave you, what you did, you ran for 7 minutes, walked for 3.
Yeah.
And you were supposed to only do that for 70 minutes. And
yeah, that's 2 hours.
Yeah. So
I felt good, though.
You went 10 miles, but you didn't. Do you think you ran 6.5 miles of that?
I don't know. I'd have to do. I don't know.
Yeah.
I would say probably, yeah.
So I have like a nice, and also too, I want to take JJ into the trail. I'll throw you under the bus a little bit here.
It's fine.
I want to take JJ into the trails, and he's like, "It's raining out there. My new shoes, they'll get dirty." I'm like,
is that what I sound like?
Yeah, that's exactly how. No, actually, to me, you were like, "Oh no, not my new running shoes.
Well,
dirt, blah blah blah."
Coming from the guy over here who spends $2,000 on running shoes, I buy one pair. I'm like, holy shit!
Listen, every time you tell the story, my amount of running
your shoes get higher.
Yeah, it's like if we do this for one more week episode, it's gonna be like
$5,000,
$10,000 in shoes. No, I have shoes for every occasion. And the risk of sounding ridiculous.
I mean, you're like, this is my box of shoes for my flat shoe. So if I'm going to go out on a track, or this is my shoe that has a heel, and this heel is whenever I'm going to be going to this. It's like, dude, I have one shoe, and I walk, run, jog, and I do everything in that shoe.
And then I told you, I was like, you need to have a different shoe for walking and running. And you were like, nope.
Yeah.
And then my wife was like, from the other room, you really should, JJ. And you were like, not doing it. And then she came in trying to be all the woman, like explaining it. And she got the picture quick that like you didn't want. Yeah.
No, it's just not. Yeah. I mean, I don't like, I guess I don't like the word cheap, but I just don't like spending money, dude.
I get it.
Like the shirt I wore in that video when we did the hardest mile.
Yeah.
That shirt is 7 years old.
And Jay, you know I'm just as frugal as you.
I know.
But I'll tell you this.
I think I'm a little... Hang on. Let's be honest here. I'm going to give you a chance to, like... You're going to win this one, I think. When we go out... We've been friends long enough. When we go out, when we spend, when we are making money decisions... I'm definitely more of the, hold on a second.
You are more conservative with
money. Yeah.
I think, I don't know, that might be skewed because a lot of the times where you and I go out and spend money, those are like important times and memories for me. And I have like, there are certain things I will not spend money on, but there are certain things that you cannot put a price tag on them for me. And like, creating memories and doing dope things is awesome. One of those things. Yeah. So like when you come to town and we have an opportunity to do something, yeah, I'm going to spend the money. But yeah, I'm the over tipper. Mm-hmm. But I think one day...
Yeah, you do tip a lot more than me.
Let
me ask you this.
You're not a bad tipper. I'm an over tipper.
So that brings up a good question for you, and also I'm curious for the audience, the listeners out there. I feel like lately we've seen a lot of the, like, you turn the screen around and it says like 30, 35, and 40% tip on the person who grabbed the sandwich from the back and gave it to me. And so, I mean, I'll be straight up with you guys. I'm not an amazing tipper by any means. Like, I'm not. I hate tipping. I do like giving money to people whenever I'm like, I'm in the mood for it, or like the person did something really well or something nice, or like they kept my drink full. Like, then yeah, I'm like, whatever.
Do you know what TIPS stands for?
No.
To ensure proper service. Like, tips are traditionally supposed to be beforehand. Like when you go to a wedding and you don't, but when I go to a wedding, the first drink, I put $50 on the bar because I don't want to wait in line for the rest of the night.
Yeah.
So they know, like, oh, that guy, like, I can cut the line. So yeah, like, you like the holidays, you'll give a good tip.
Yeah, I mean, like, well, we go out. Here's the other thing: we go out to eat all the freaking time, and I don't want to freaking spend 25% on a tip on a decent sized bill every time.
So yeah, I like 4 shoes, but never go out to eat ever.
Yeah, I go out to eat all the time,
and you only like 1 shoe. So it doesn't matter how you spend your money, as long as you know what you like.
Yeah.
But I'm telling you, when you wear a different pair of shoes for like...
Well, hang on. Let me get back to what I was saying.
Oh, yeah. So I got sidetracked on this because I picked a nice, clean, not going to get your shoes dirty route.
Right.
And I have a good, nice, like 6.5, 7 mile loop.
So, well, hang on. The tip thing I'm not done with.
Oh, my bad. Yeah.
Yeah. So the little screen thing where they turn around. I feel like everywhere you go now has one. Where do you draw the line and you're like, no tip?
In a retail setting, never.
Okay.
No tips.
Yeah.
No tips.
Yeah, me neither.
Like the ice cream store and things like that? No.
Nope. Same.
0. I tip.
Do you tip your coffee barista?
No.
Me neither.
So like...
Oh, you know who the Honey or the, what's the sandwich place we went to?
A Hometown Hero.
Yeah, so they had it.
No.
And there was like, I could like feel the people behind me like looking over my shoulder, like checking it. Okay, I didn't tip either.
Like, and I think...
I'll be honest with you. Most of the time, when it's one of those ways to tip, unless I'm at a restaurant, I'm probably not tipping.
Right. I tip bartenders.
Yes.
And I also know like people in the industry that work for tips.
What's your go-to percentage on a tip? People are going to fucking annihilate me on this answer.
Yeah, like I'm an over tipper. So like I generally just will round. I usually like
20% guy?
25%, yeah. Like 20% standard. Like tonight, the dude's going to get 25%.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Dude.
But Christmas, you know, every weekend in the month of December, I go to a different restaurant and I match the bill with a tip for Christmas. I do that every year. But
yeah, like I like doing that stuff too.
I also tip my garbage men.
We do Christmas gifts for garbage
because
trash guys.
They hook us up.
Yeah.
They take stuff they're not. I can't say all of the things that I put out are under 50 pounds and cut to 4-foot squares and tied. Not like I tip those guys. I tip the postal workers. If like there's also a difference. Like at my old place, I had like the same UPS driver and FedEx driver. Like it was their route, so I'd tip those guys. Like I used to know if you watch Casey Neistat videos, like he knows his delivery guys. If I know those guys, I'm going to give them like a Christmas tip.
We did the same thing.
But like the postal service, they've been suffering. So like I've gotten different postal service people and things like that. But
so what's your go-to tip then? 20-25 on like I'm talking like restaurant.
Yeah, 20-25%.
So you want to know what mine is?
No, I don't want to know because I don't want to know.
I feel like it's worthy.
Okay, go ahead.
Do I really need to tip more than 10%?
Well, yeah, but see,
and I'm not. Hang on. And there are times I would say there are definitely times I tip over 10%. Like I would say usually on our smaller bills, they're always over 10%.
Yeah, and like there's times where like the waitress will go out of her way to get my kid a like small cup with a top on it, or like
they always get or
like if Avery spills a drink on the table, like, hey, sorry, no, that's a pain in the ass for you.
Like one thing we've noticed is like we'll order the kids a drink, and sometimes we'll like not get both kids a kids meal because they don't eat it.
Right.
So like we'll order Mason a kids meal, and then we'll just order, and then they have to like split a drink, or like we'll just get them both like waters, or like they have to share the special drink they get. And the waitress will sometimes bring over Amelia a drink anyways.
Right.
Like that's like not a water.
Right.
And we're like, oh, thanks. Like we appreciate that. Like those people get bigger tips.
Yeah.
But if you're just like, and here's the other thing, like I really take personality and like your work ethic into it.
Absolutely.
If you don't do well when you are a waitress or a waiter, you're not just gonna get a 20, 15, 10% tip.
I agree.
Like if you suck and I have to ask you to bring my drink and you're just not, like there's people who wait us and they are miserable and they hate to talk to us at the table. And I'm like, well, you're not really making this too enjoyable, are you?
What annoys you more, when the waitress waiter comes over too much or not enough?
I would rather the waitress come over more, because all I got to do is just like give a thumbs up or like, yep, we're good, thank you. Like I'm fine with that. But at least if they're coming over and they're checking, like I like my drink never to go bone dry. If I'm sitting there and I have to wait, I would rather just go fill it up myself.
Right.
Like that's just one thing that always has been a big pet peeve of mine. So when I if you want to win me over, the best way to do it is to be able to have the waitress come in, get my cup, and keep filling it.
I'll tell you, one of my biggest pet peeves, and I know the place we're going tonight, it's going to be like this. The bus boys that fill your water glass like every sip.
Yeah, it is kind of annoying.
That's going to be tonight.
Yeah.
Like it's that high end where like literally you're going to take a sip of water,
And then,
you're going to put it down, you're going to look at me, and he's going to be filling your water.
oh wow, okay.
And he's not even standing by the table. Like,
Yeah, that's
like,
a little much for me.
Did they come in from the ceiling? Like, how the fuck did he get here so fast?
It's like a drop wire.
Exactly. But yeah, no, I'm more of a.
We've been talking about tipping for how long now?
I'm more like, I'd rather them not come over.
Okay. Yeah,
After we get our food.
Yeah, that's
like
true.
you don't have to do the. How did everything come
Very
out?
true.
Good.
Yeah.
Everything. Well, like, what am I gonna? You see me eating.
Yeah.
Am I gonna be like, no, I'm eating this because it.
Either one of those, I guess, wouldn't really concern me. Mine's more of just keep my drinks full and, come over enough in case. Because, like, there's sometimes I need napkins. Like, if you have kids, you run out of napkins quick. And we go out to eat a lot with the kids. Yeah. So, like, it's always, we're running out of napkins. Like, so maybe that's probably why I'm more towards, I want them to come over. But
we are going to be going to a fancy place tonight.
I'm down with it. Because, like, I don't do fancy dinners. Well, here's the thing. We eat so much together as a family. Since we do eat out so much together, we just like, okay, well, we don't want to go out to $100 plus dinners every night, So we tend to eat, when we do go out to eat, sometimes Lindsay and I will share dinner. Like, we'll share a meal. Because if we know we're getting a good, healthy portion. The kids sometimes split. Like, we share, me and Lindsay share a soda. Like, I don't want to have to spend $4 on a fucking soda if I'm not going to drink all of it.
That's a bit aggressive. But we don't go out that much. Like,
we go out all the time.
I think part of the reason why Tara loves when you come is because she knows we're going to get to go out to eat.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because we don't really do that.
Yeah.
So we went on a run.
We did.
We went on a long run. And then we're going to talk real estate.
Okay. Yeah, the run felt good, dude. Like, so first, congrats to you for first time being under 190 in a while. We weighed ourselves today too.
I've officially lost over 50.
Jeez.
So I was 240 in June.
Man, it's crazy.
And I've been saying I don't weigh myself often, but I was saying, like, people ask, you lost some weight? Yeah, how much did you lose? I don't know, between 50 and 60. I assumed I was in the 180s, and then like a couple weeks ago I started weighing myself weekly, and I've been at like 190, 190, 190. I'm like, son of a bitch. And then I started lifting, which you gain some weight when you lift, which is fine.
True.
But I'm like, damn it. But today I got back from a long run. I'm like, I feel pretty sucked out. Like,
go weigh myself
before I eat lunch. I'm gonna go weigh myself. I'm hungry. I just sweat for 2 hours straight. Like, if I'm gonna be 189, it's gonna be right now.
Yeah. Well, then you weighed and you're like, hell yeah. I was like, oh shit, I need to weigh myself, because I've been running a lot too, and I've been, haven't been drinking that much, but I haven't weighed myself. Our scale at home's not working, so like I haven't weighed ourselves since pre-Florida. It's like, I'm probably going to weigh myself too, because I'm wearing jeans right now, and I put these jeans on, and I felt usually my ass like sticks out of the jeans because there's the hair too tight when they're like freshly washed. So I put them on, and I didn't feel that tightness. I was like, ooh, I was like, wow, that's a nice feeling. So I go, I probably should weigh myself too. So I go up there and I stand on the scale, and I usually walk around at like 210. So it was 200 exactly.
And I said,
and you go, take your jeans off.
take your pants off.
Yeah. I was like, ooh, that's good.
If it wasn't a milestone,
Don't ask me twice, Brad.
Don't twist my arm here. If it wasn't a milestone, but those bleached jeans, I know they were at least a half a pound. And I'm like, dude, for a milestone, getting into a new digits, you got.
And I had the belt on too.
You got to take those pants off. And
I did, and it came in at 198.5. Haven't been under 200 in a long time.
And you had some more clothing to take off. You probably could have got it down to 197.
Well, and I just had 2 pieces of pizza. I drank a seltzer water.
You had eaten already.
Yeah. So I may be like 195-ish. Like in the mornings, you know? Mm-hmm. Oh, dude, like that's a shit that's so motivating. Like when you I'll say this, the first 2 weeks are always motivating because it's new.
Right.
3 to 8 is shit for me. Like I'm not as motivated anymore. But I will say running has something to do with that constant, one, it's helped me with wanting to what's the word I'm looking for? I crave that feeling. Mm-hmm. And if it is called the runner's high or whatever.
The endorphin. I mean, you release endorphins
yes.
when you run, which is what makes you cry after a while.
Yeah. But not only that, I see myself improving. I feel better. I'm physically better. I'm mentally better. And then also I got an improvement on my runs. I'm slowly seeing maybe it's not time-wise, but when I'm out there and I'm what I used to, how do I say this? What I used to felt like when I would run 2 to 3 miles,
right,
versus what I feel like now when I run 4 to 5 miles.
Absolutely,
bro, it's unreal. I didn't see, and again, and this is coming from a guy that has never ran more than consistently probably a mile or 2 in his life. I've never done this type of thing.
You've topped out at 15, 16 miles a week now for 3-4 weeks.
Yeah, yeah.
Because what do you have right? What did today get you to? Do you know?
I'll have to check.
Because I figure because I know you did 17 last week. I think I had you on 16 the week before, and then the week before that you were in Florida for the first week, so that was 15. Yeah. So you're at least.
I'm looking right now.
I was going to try and get you to 20 this week, but I didn't know what you did before you got here.
I'm at 15.1.
Right. So we do 2 or 3 tomorrow. Boom, you're at 18.
Yep. Yeah.
So you're averaging 2.5 miles per day.
Damn, that's crazy, dude. Yeah. And the run we did today was what, 6.5 miles?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, 6.5 mile loop.
There was 1 or 2 times I was telling you, I was like, I could. So here's the cool part. My engine, how I breathe, my lungs, they always feel great. Always. Because I keep a slow and steady pace. I try to keep my heart rate down.
Oh, we'll talk about that.
And then, what was I going to say? Oh, what gives me the most trouble is my legs.
Right.
I don't know if they're just not prepared enough yet, but they do burn out relatively quick. When I'm constantly running, I can feel the knees, I can feel the quads, I can feel the hamstrings. Everything's just kind of burning.
Yeah.
A nice workout, but I'm like, ooh, these are what's going to fatigue me is my legs.
Right. We also, to your defense, I didn't tell you how far we were going to run.
Yeah, I had to kind of figure that out.
I told you before we left, I want you to go out like you're running the furthest distance you've ever ran in your life. And I'll let you know when we get to halfway. Mm-hmm. So then you can at least gauge yourself. And I told you things you didn't eat any food, things like that. And I think we did 11. I think we did 11:30s out.
Mm-hmm. Something like that.
We stopped at the halfway point, filmed some content because we're content creators. And then I told you we were halfway, and I think we did 10:30s on the way back.
Yeah, it was a little. I picked it up a little more, and towards the end, I kind of fell off.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
And I think so. I think we did the 6.5 miles in 1:16, something like that.
Okay.
And then felt
good.
Yeah. I'm a little further along in my training. I went out for a couple more, but yeah, it was great.
Well, and I'll feel ready. I'll feel good to run a couple more tomorrow for sure. If we run 3-4 miles tomorrow.
I can't believe. What'd you say your heart rate was at?
So when we were towards the end, I was sitting at 180. 180. It was at 185.
Dude, I can't.
I operate at a high heart rate. I don't know what it is.
I can't even get my heart rate to that. I mean, I'm older. I'm 8 years older, so your max heart rate tends to go
Is that
down as
bad,
you age.
though?
No, I don't. I'm not a doctor, and I don't know. I just know like resting, like if
So my resting heart rate has gone down quite a bit.
like that shouldn't be over 60. And when I was drinking, it was like 70 overnight when I slept, and now I'm in the 40s when I sleep.
Usually lately it's been right around like low 60s.
But like running at the low heart rate, like I'll tell you this. So
I try, dude.
on our loop, I ran at like 122, and that was like 11:30
Cut my nails.
pace.
Jesus. Like I'm going to the freaking
Talent.
get a pedicure later or some shit.
Yeah, go with my wife and all the other chicks. And then, but even so, on the way back, I did 145 was my limit. Now I'll tell you this: in June,
See, that'd be a 14-minute pace for me.
in June when I started running, a 145 heart rate would be somewhere in the neighborhood of like 12-minute pace, 12:30, and I did 8:45s at that pace today. In the second half of a half marathon.
So do I just need to slow down my runs and then until
Yeah,
it
you just
builds
need to
up?
build an aerobic motor.
Or well, can I just keep running at 185 until it slowly catches up with me?
I'm not a scientist.
Yeah,
There's
I don't know
different,
how it works.
like what I've found success with, right? That's like asking somebody, how should you invest? What I found success in is running at what runners call a maffetone, which is a scientist runner, which generally is 180 minus your age. And 80% of your runs need to be below that heart rate. So I'm 41.
That's walking for me.
In the beginning, it was for me. And it's slowly, yeah. So like I was 40 when I started. So I was running at 140, and I'd said the same thing. I'd go out, especially on a hot summer day. I'd be at 140
instantly
walking. And now, and then like your Strava fitness score is based on your heart rate. So I was doing all these
I don't
runs,
even know what that is.
and my heart rate was going up. So like my fitness score. But now I can't, it's like hard for me to get my heart rate above 145. And like, yeah, 80%. So you're how old?
30,
30, we'll call it 30.
31, 32.
32. So
32.
So 180, 150, like, yeah, you'd get like 150 would be like, you'd have to keep it under 150.
So our first like mile and a half was alright. I didn't look at my pace because I was like, didn't want to know where we were at. So I just kept it on heart rate. Mm-hmm. And for the first like mile and a half, that was the first time I've stayed at like 150 or under for a mile and a half. Because usually the first half mile I can stay around there, maybe 3/4 mile, and then I feel like as soon as I hit over a mile, it jumps up to like 165, 170. And then I coast there for a few miles, and then towards the end, when I'm getting tired, I can see my heart rate jumping up.
One of the hard things about filming or recording these podcasts before they come out is we could say things, and then by the time they come out, things could be completely different. But today, you're very occupied with...
I am, yeah.
With, I mean, like I said, this is going to come out in 2 weeks, so we'll know, but...
Mm-hmm. Oh, that's exciting.
You're trying to buy... You're in Florida, you're renting right now, trying to buy a house, and as soon as you got into the airport, as soon as you got in my truck last night when I picked you up, you were on your phone, you're like, sorry, dude, I can't talk.
Yeah.
I'm like, all right. And, you were like, I put an offer on this house. It wasn't a great... It was a asking offer, but it was underpriced in my opinion.
The house was.
Yeah, there's going to be multiple offers. So your confidence level of getting this house when you first told me was no. Mm-hmm. And then that really changed yesterday afternoon. So you want to talk about like, I think this is interesting for somebody that's trying to buy a house because I hear like buying a house. So a lot of people just have given up or like they don't have that confidence or they're like, I'm never going to get one or I can't get a house if I put in asking because that's me. I said to you, like, how do you get the house then? Like, why not come in over? And you're like, there's other ways to appeal to a seller to get the house. And you always appeal with like big cash offers, fast closing, can you talk about that quick for somebody that might be buying a house and also like what you're going through like right now?
Yeah. I mean, obviously like for most buyers, like if you can come in with an all cash offer, that's nice because that's guaranteed financing. So there's no hiccups that are going to happen along the way of closing. And you can also be pretty flexible and usually close within like 7 to 14 days. So like that buyer could be out of their house by next week. Mm-hmm. So like, but that's not the typical, like that's not the norm. Another thing can help with is like no contingencies. So like,
I have no idea what that is.
So
I
like,
hear it all the time. Like I watch $1 Million Listing because that shit's dope. But like I never, when they're all like no contingencies, no cash off, I have no idea what they're talking about.
So like a contingency means like you can buy the house if A, B, or C happen. So like let's say you and Tara were going to sell this house and you were looking to buy something else, then maybe you found something pretty quick, but you made a contingency that the offer you submitted was based on this house selling.
Oh, okay.
So like this house has to close before you can officially buy theirs. So like that would be a contingency that you would make,
and that protects you in that contract
for sure. Because if you don't ever sell this, then you don't have to buy. You don't technically have to buy that house.
Okay.
So since Lindsay and I have already sold our home in Missouri, we've moved to Florida, and we're renting month to month. Like we are pretty flexible right now. Like we're paying for it in rent, but that's what we wanted. We wanted to be the flexibility to help us. And so I let my realtor know when he made the offer. I was like, hey, make sure you tell the seller's agent that we are very flexible and we can work around almost pretty much any ordeal that these sellers have. And I knew from talking to the neighbor when we looked at the house that the neighbor came out and she said, oh yeah, they are. And I always like to ask as many questions as I can, because the more you know, the better your deal can be. So I knew that the sellers, they were staying in the neighborhood that we're looking to buy. The only thing is that they were outgrowing their house. You could tell they had a bunch of kids in there just from the furniture. So they just needed a bigger home, basically. So the neighbor's like, yeah, they're just moving where there's like a new phase of that subdivision and they're building all new, bigger homes. That's where they're moving to. So I told Lindsay, I was like, well, this is going to be great because obviously like they have an idea when their house is, going to be built.
That's the contractor told them.
Exactly. You never know what's going to happen.
Right.
So what I said was, I go, what's cool is like with this flexibility offer on our closing for closing date. And then they asked, so this is what happened. So I said that, be flexible on closing. We can work with whatever. Cause I didn't know like how far we're out from building. Well then, so their agent talked to my agent in Austin, my agent in Florida. He's like, hey JJ, would you be open to leasing the property to the sellers until their house is fully completed? He goes, that may be like the latest, it would be like September.
Explain what that means.
Yeah, so basically we would close on the house. The home would be ours, but the sellers of that property would stay in the house after closing.
And pay you rent.
Correct. They would pay me rent every month until their lease date's up, which would be an agreed upon date for that. After that date, they have to be out no matter what, and me and Lindsay and the kids move in.
Pros and cons of that for each party are?
Pros are you can negotiate the rent price. So like this may be an opportunity where I get my mortgage paid for and maybe make a couple $100, for a couple months, but yeah. I'm going to try and make the deal go in my favor a little bit. Also it's most likely going to get the deal done to where we can maybe get this house. Again, I have nothing in writing yet, so I can't say I have it.
Because somebody comes in with an offer that's
for sure
10% more than yours, but they need to move in right away. The sellers might be like, it might not be worth that 10% for us to have to.
That happened.
Okay.
So that house on day one has got four offers on day one of listing, and I told Lindsay right away because like I've been staring at the real estate market in Florida for the past few months, so I know every house that comes on the market. I know how fast it's going off. I've been keeping an eye on all this shit, and when I saw this house pop up and how nice it was, and what I saw that for that price point, I knew for a fact that house was going to go like that, and it would have. It is like there's already 4 offers on day one, and there's 2 over purchase price offers. So they offered more than the price was listed at, which I was fully aware that was going to happen. I even told you that when you picked me up.
Yeah.
Well, us having this flexibility, I think that may be what seals the deal for us. Like it may be worth them not having to move twice, move into a short-term rental, and then being able to move back out.
Because you just moved. That
sucks, dude, so much.
And if you have kids,
it's even worse.
You don't want to be finding a rental, moving to a rental.
No.
and then in a couple months uproot, and like kids need consistency. So the sellers are in a position where they're like, there's a price that we're going to pay for convenience and a price that we're going to lose.
For sure.
And the same reason that you're kind of overpaying for rent than you would for a mortgage,
convenience.
They're willing to pay just to stay where they are, keep their kids in the same spot, let them finish school when do they finish school in down in Florida? End of June?
May, I think.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
So soon.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, because like we're done in the end of June. So like, yes, so the pros for them in taking that for you are they don't have to move twice.
Yeah. Which is, well, and if they couldn't find a home in, well, I guess their home would be being built, so maybe they could use that. But like for their kids starting school next year, like you got to show proof of address and stuff.
Yeah.
You know, so like that could be.
If you, like, what would you have to evict them? Like if it got to September and they weren't out?
I mean, I would work with them obviously because like it's a kind of a weird deal. But like if it ever came to the point, actually the lease says that it was like based on Florida Section Article 2AZY, like. You know,
so you already proposed. Is that what you were talking with them today? So you already proposed a lease to them.
Without the rent price, I'm waiting on my lender to send me a more actual idea of what my mortgage is going to be. I mean, I did it based on like my numbers. I know roughly probably within $100 what it's going to be, but I like to overshoot numbers quite a bit. So like I overshot taxes, I overshot insurance, so mine may be a little more expensive. So that's what I'm waiting on the lender to do. Is to give me a more exact number.
Do you think this might be going on with one of the other ones? Like, what if?
I mean, I don't know.
What if your rent is 28 and somebody else's is 22?
It very well could be.
So, but like, are you thinking about that when you're making a rent amount? Because you said you wanted to make a little skin in the game.
Yeah, I'm not thinking about that.
You're not just saying, "Hey, I need to break even on my mortgage and that's it."
I mean, that's what I'm telling them, but they don't know what my mortgage is.
Right.
Like, they're not going to know.
Yeah.
So like if my mortgage, let's say my mortgage is,
and it's also too, you're overpaying to stay in the nice place that you're in now that you're overpaying for.
Yeah.
So they essentially got to cover your mortgage and above market price of what you're currently living in as well.
Right.
Because like, yeah, you can break even on your mortgage over there, but if you were only planning to overpay where you're renting now for a couple months and now that's going to be 7-8 months, that's a lot more money out of your pocket.
For sure.
Wow.
So,
but now, okay, you said enrolling in school though. Is this in the same place that you're renting as far as where your kids would go to school?
Different elementary.
Because you have to enroll Mace. So what would be the deal with that then? Because
we'd be able
if they stay there, it's still their utilities and everything, right? And when you enroll, don't you need utilities and stuff like that?
So we could use, and Lindsay's got a call on this on Monday, but I'm thinking we can use that lease and then we can use something else with that property address to show proof.
Because you're still going to have a mortgage.
Yeah. Like we can show proof that
of ownership.
We own the house and that this is, and with the lease stating like they're going to be out in September, that we're going to be there majority of the school year. Why would I send my kid to a different elementary school to start brand new in first grade whenever he's going to be living somewhere else a month after they start school?
Yeah, and it's going to show it's your primary residence as well.
Yeah. So I think it'll work. I don't think that'll be a big deal.
When did they say their house was going to be built?
It's being built now. It'll
like
be
completion.
done in September. Yeah.
So everything needs to go right.
Basically, but the hard stop, it would be like, that would kind of be shitty on their part. Because like in those lease terms, it says like they're going to be out September. So if they were like, oh, well, we need to stay, then it's going to be renegotiated on rent and all that stuff because all it's going to go up.
Yeah.
Like I'm not going to.
All it's going to take is one Florida hurricane.
Yeah, I know. Jeez. But no, like if it comes September and they're like, hey, we need another month or two, and be like, hey, well, I need another couple $100.
Yeah.
You know, or more.
Because then you're in a
Because I want to get in the house, obviously, you know.
And then you're in a position, too, to be like, well, you told me you're going to be out in September. I have a lease until September where I'm currently at.
Yep.
So if you need to extend, I need to extend, and you're fucking me over 8 ways to Wednesday, so you're going to owe me a couple more dollars.
Basically, what would probably happen is they would still have to move out and just figure out a place to rent, unfortunately. Like, that would suck for them.
So it's pretty safe to say that you at least have to be a front runner for the house if the seller is...
I would say so.
...moving this far and also moving this far into the weekend. Because like they could have been like, hey, we'll talk to you Monday, bro. Have a great day.
I feel like most real estate stuff goes through the weekend too.
Oh, it does?
Yeah.
They're just trying to get the deal done.
Yeah. Faster the better.
And I'm over here like, what happened? What happened? So what are you talking with him now?
We're waiting to hear the mortgage amount from the lender.
Okay.
I want a more exact amount than just my numbers.
But now is the bank working on the weekends?
The guy I work with does, yeah.
Oh, that's good news too.
Yep.
Oh man. So exciting. So you
In
might
the house, dude, like
you might be getting on a plane tomorrow knowing you got a house.
for sure. Yeah, I could be signing a contract tonight. Isn't that crazy? In this house too, man, like I don't know if I remember, I can't remember if I said it last week or if we were talking about it, but this is the first house in Florida that we've been looking for a bit that checks everything off our list. Like everything.
It's so hard to do.
Yeah. And then it has awesome amenities.
Oh man.
Isn't that cool?
Dude's got a lazy river.
Lazy river, like slides for the kids, like actual water slides.
Very nice.
15 miles of running trails.
And like fitness centers.
Oh yeah, that gym is nice. It'd be cool, man.
It's got a nice yard.
Yeah.
The
And it's a
traditional.
cul-de-sac street, and like so that was another thing that really sold us in the house is it's a super nice street, close to the cul-de-sac, and the neighbor mom was like, "Yeah, there's 20 different kids that live on this, and like the street's not huge."
Yeah.
And she goes, every house, she's like pointing at that one. She's like, they just had a new baby 2 weeks ago. This one's got a 4 and a 9-year-old. This one's a 13-year-old. Blah blah blah. She goes, so we have cul-de-sac parties like once a week and do this. And I'm like, oh, it's so cool. Like kids can just run around and play, and because we didn't have that in Missouri, we were on like kind of a busier street and just
Was it really a street or was it a long driveway?
Yeah, that's true. Yeah,
Those farm town roads.
I know.
But like, why is every porch in Florida screened in?
I mean, I don't know. Like,
And let's talk about when you.
there are a lot of lizards down there, but those lizards find their way under the screen, so I don't know if that's it.
What was the look on my daughter's face when you called it supper?
Oh, dude, that was hilarious.
Because she's very like holds conversation. So, oh yeah.
Okay. So I'm like, hey, Avery. I think I got out of the cold plunge or something. I don't remember. She was outside with me, and she was eating her cookie I got her. And I was asking her about her cookie, and I was like, what'd you have for supper? And she looked at me like deer in the headlights. I was like, this not here.
She wasn't being shy because she talks like I said. She holds conversation.
Yeah, I was like, well, I go, what'd you have for supper? And she just looked at me, and like I could tell she like didn't know what to do. And I was like, what's going on? I was like, Avery, I was like, would you eat something for supper? Like, she looked at me again, like I go, I don't. And then I could tell she like, wanted to move on to something else. And I go, oh my gosh. I go, do you not know what supper is? And she goes, like, shook her head like this. I go, oh, honey. I go, what'd you have for dinner? And she goes, oh, I had whatever. And I was like, oh, my gosh. I said, that's so funny. Well, dude, I forget, too, that the little kid Mace was playing with, and we were in Arizona. I said the same thing. He came over to see if the kids could play. And I go, well, I said, maybe we'll be out in a little bit, but I said, we got to go eat supper, and I'm making supper right now. He goes, what's suppers? And I was like, Jesus Christ, these kids don't know what supper is.
No, we don't.
It's so crazy.
They have no idea what supper.
Yeah.
Just like your kids don't know what a hero is.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, absolutely.
Let's go grab some heroes.
Yeah, they'd be like, what? Superheroes?
I had a buddy come, and I was like, yeah, we'll grab some chicken parm heroes for dinner. And he was like, what do you mean?
I'm sorry, what?
I'm like, a chicken parm hero? Like, and he's like, huh? I'm like, I thought the hero thing, I was like, a sub.
Yeah.
And he's like, wait, you put chicken parm on a sub? And I was like, are you fucking kidding me? So I was like, that's what we're having for dinner. And he like held it. He was like, this is incredible. I'm like, and you're from California? They don't have chicken parm heroes? The good old CCPH?
I will say the subs here. I mean, there is a lot of good food in New York, dude. Like any sandwich we get is always bomb. Pizza's always good.
I don't want to hype too much up too much, but
I'm excited, dude.
like you liked Tellers.
Yes.
This is like, you're gonna be like, man, that Teller. I don't know. It's like Tara and I, we've been there.
Where's it at? Is it in?
We're going up to the North Shore.
Cool.
And like kind of where I work almost. You're gonna get an idea of like the kids I teach.
Okay.
But yeah, like we went there for like our anniversary, like our 1 year anniversary. Not 3 years. Like no, it's It's not.
Big deal.
It's too fancy for 3-year anniversary.
Wow.
And then we went again on 5. So we've been there twice on 2
So
anniversaries.
what's the bill gonna look like?
We're not gonna worry about that. We're just gonna go out there.
All right.
We're gonna make memories.
Okay.
We're just gonna go out there and make memories.
Let's do it, dude. I'm pumped. I'm excited.
Do you have the card or do I have the card?
I think we both have one.
Oh, we do.
Yeah. I got mine fixed because it was not working forever.
Well, yeah. That's
so tomorrow, what do we got?
it.
Another. Well, I'll get to my 17, 18 miles.
Yeah, we're gonna clean up miles, get to goal miles for the week.
Another cold plunge, which, by the way, mine today felt much better than the last 2.
Cold plunge without question, and then we're gonna work on some 20 rep max in the weight room. We're gonna get a.
We need a bro workout, dude.
What, you want to do glamour muscles?
I gotta put some meat on these arms.
We'll do glamour muscles with the rep max.
I still gotta do my 100 push-ups today too.
Oh, yeah, I'm gonna watch you do those.
For St. Jude, baby.
And I think we'll get home from dinner tonight. Maybe we'll record. So if you're listening now, in 1 week, you'll get the post dinner. And then we may even try and record again tomorrow before you get on a plane.
Yeah, that'd be nice. And just you gotta check out the video too.
It's so much.
You guys can see us live in person on YouTube.
It's so much. It's weird how much more productive we are when we're sober. Usually, when you get here, we film one, and then the maybe we'll get a second. No, we usually try and like force a second.
Yeah.
And then we're always like, we're gonna do 5 this weekend, and then the third one never
happens
because we're all like, hi guys, welcome back.
Mm-hmm. Or we're like, hey, you want to go to another bar or something?
Yeah. Should we stay out?
Which I'm not like hating on that. Like,
no, it's just different.
Cause like
it's a new perspective.
Yeah, it's great. It feels good, dude.
Yeah.
And I don't want to keep harping on it, but like it fucking feels good to feel better physically.
It has nothing to do with the running, just to feel good.
Yeah. So let's I'll tell you this, and then we can wrap it up, but I'm a little nervous still for this 100K race, dude.
Yeah, you should be.
Like,
I'm nervous too. Terrified.
I just don't know. Like I ran those 6.5 miles, 7 miles today, and I'm like, that's not even a quarter of the way done.
You just had to do what we did today.
And it was flat and on the road.
You just had to do what we did today 10 times with 11,000 more feet
of elevation.
Yeah.
On
rocky terrain.
So here's the thing. If I do my 7.3s and my legs don't give out on me too quick, which is why I need to really focus on building that muscle up these next 3-4 months, I think I can complete at least half the rate. I think I could do a 50K. 100K though, man. Like
we were gonna do some power hiking today and get your shoes dirty, but
yeah. Well, hang on though.
Many shoes though.
So I FaceTimed my wife, and did I not tell you? I said she's gonna agree with me 100% because I also know happy wife, happy life. And if I came home with my brand new shoes, I just spent $160 fucking on that I shouldn't have spent that much money, and I'd come back. I'm like, here are my shoes, and I know
could have put my wife goes, I could throw them in the washing machine for you or something if you need to.
Brand new shoes in the wash already though. Like,
no, you don't put your shoes in the wash. That's ridiculous.
Exactly. Well, I do because I want to rewear them.
But so is thinking about like, I don't know.
But
I get shoes.
Hang on, I said though.
I get shoes. And I'm like, these
those
are
shoes out too though.
Yeah, you
I don't want to just. I didn't want to have muddy ass shoes. Like I kind of bought them to wear out as well because I like the shoe.
No, I have my go out shoes. Yeah. I have become a little bit of a shoe guy. I wasn't
a go out shoe now. Like,
yeah, I wasn't a shoe guy.
Do you ever shoot or walk around the house?
I'm wearing them. They're my slippers. But what I realized, and this is what I said to you, like when you have different shoes for different things, like every shoe's not as versatile as we want them to be. And like I focus on the care of my feet running 50 miles a week. Like I saw a difference when I wore different shoes for different things and kept my feet in the best shape they could be. So like tonight I'm going to wear like my nice stiff, nice shoes that are going to like be good for recovery.
I'm wearing my Hey Dudes.
I love those shoes.
Oh, they're the best.
You've had them since before Skechers bought them. You had Hey Dudes before they were cool.
Or not Skechers.
I thought Crocs bought them.
Crocs, yeah.
Crocs bought them. And I remember you being like, man, I'm going to write to CEO. I want to invest in this company. They weren't
know.
public yet.
I know.
And I was like, hey, dudes. And you're like, dude, I'm telling you.
I made some decent money on that too, on Crocs.
You bought?
I bought them at like the June lows of $40, and they
when Hey Dude bought them?
No, they already owned. They bought Hey Dude in like that January.
Okay.
But I bought them then too. Before that, then they announced the Hey Dude acquisition. Got excited, and then they like whenever inflation spiked back in June and then October again, Crocs dropped to like a low of like 40. But they had like so much cash in the bank. They were set up perfectly. And then I heard an interview with the CEO. He's like, I don't know why. He's like, our stock's getting. He goes, what's happening is our stock is getting put into the meme stock space. He goes, but we're not a meme stock. We're profitable. We have billions of dollars in the cash. He's like, whatever. I mean, that's fine because like we're all buying it right now. And I was like, shit, yeah, that sounds cool. And then literally like a month or two later, it was up over $100.
They are getting more popular too.
Yeah. Oh, for sure.
Like I remember when they first came out.
Yeah.
And we were making fun of them. They're like an
Hey
old dad.
Dudes?
No, Crocs.
Oh, Crocs. Yeah.
We were like, there's like the old dad or the, now every single one of my students.
All the kids wear them.
Yeah.
That's all my son and daughter wear is their Crocs.
Yeah,
every
like,
day.
I'm probably going to have to get my kids a pair of Crocs.
I kind of want a pair still. I just never bought them because I don't buy more than one pair of shoes.
Yeah, I'm going to try and talk you into getting another brand that I won't say on the podcast because I'm not going to.
For a running shoe?
No. Like a Crocs competitor.
Oh.
Yeah. I'll tell you about it off air.
Never thought I'd be wearing New Balance for my running shoe.
Until they pay me. Yeah. Damn.
I loved them.
You looked good.
They felt good.
Felt good.
I didn't get blisters because I had those cushion socks.
Socks make a big difference.
Yeah,
man.
they do.
All right, let's not babble and keep these guys here longer than they need to be.
Well, thanks for listening.
And check us out on YouTube if you're not.
And real quick, too.
Yeah.
Join the Discord.
Discord.
We still have the spots open for $2.50 a month. It's
We're gonna keep
$2.50.
Let's be honest. I don't have the time or the energy to go in there and change the price. So
yeah, I mean and it's a way too. Like if you guys enjoy the podcast and you get motivation out of it, or like it's something you listen to on your Mondays and to going to work. Like it is a way to help support. Like we don't make much money off this thing. It's more of a hobby project for us.
Keeping old episodes on Spotify and things like that costs some money.
That does money. And then like when we're not in person, like we got Zoom praying for and stuff like that. But like it's more of just like a,
I used to.
and you're getting value from it too. It's not like you're just supporting the podcast and that's it. Like come join the Discord and talk about. We post our runs in there. We got who was it that just Corey? He just ran his first mile the other day. He said I haven't run a mile in 20 years.
20 years,
something like that.
Yeah.
So like there's people getting motivated and doing stuff in there, and so we're all trying to motivate each other. So if anything, maybe it'd be one day to do like a Discord trip. And we all meet up somewhere and do like a massive run for the Discord.
Group runs.
Yeah.
Group runs, and then we can do some investing and some day trading and look at some real estate.
There you go.
All right, guys. Thanks so much. We'll catch you on the next episode.